And we're back on the air. And if you're just joining us on YouTube, once again, you're late to the party. And if you text me one more time, I know the UVXY is above 44. I know. You know, this is the last time I give my cell phone out. I'm not invited to any parties. Nobody likes me. Can I come as your guest? I'll even dress in I'll even wear a dress. It'll be hilarious. Just an excuse to dress as a woman. What? It's all right to be a drag queen. Well, luckily, we got out of 92% of that StubHub because there goes the last 8%. Good night, you piece of shit. Big size on the bid there, too. All right, Coinbase, I'm putting a hard stop on it now. Got my little pivot. And now 206. I guess it's 206.50. And there goes the StubHub. Good night and good riddance. At least I got out of predominantly most of it at a decent price. Ugh, what a waste. Pat Battle. Oh, right. Speaking of Pat Battle, did you notice that I didn't even check where the VSIG was today? Was it $2? Yeah, look, it's done. It's not even moving today, right? What was the other one you just said? Pat Battle. That reminded me of the other one. Ooh, Pat Battle coming back today. Very, very nice trade. Whoa. Tippet's coming back today too. Tippet. Man, I definitely have Tourette's. I mean, there's no doubt. At least my Tourette's is fun. All right. See, I almost forgot I was even on. What's up, yo, internet? So listen, y'all. Tonight is your night, bro. Tonight, we're all going to drink heavily, and we're going to crunch some charts until I pass out. That's the name of the game today. We're going to be talking about your favorite 80s movies and your favorite 80s songs and some chart patterns. And we'll plan for what's the word I'm looking for? Impending doom. This is just a glimpse these last 10 days of the selling that's about to come. What's up, Lakeland? Anywhere near Parkland? I got cousins down there. So, sorry, I have this tippet on the screen. This is not where I'm interested. I just saw it going on the scanner. So, once again, we are still kicking the freaking snot out of this market, staying with just earnings reversals. Very nice morning with AVGO. Quarter short this morning. Very nice. All the way down to prior day VWAP. Faux show bro at prior day. Where's my new guy? New guy wanted to know, how do we use the orange line? Well, the orange line uses you. And I really mean that. It depends on where it is. So generally we live in the world of the 1 minute and the multi-day. Blue line, orange line. So if your blue line is up there and you're looking for fades, you're looking for selling, right? So basically Broadcom, as much as I love it, Just like Alcoa. I love Alcoa, but it became an awesome short yesterday. I love me some Broadcom. One of my favorite chip stocks of all time. Love it. Can't say enough positive things about it. But more importantly, if it's a day trader, I don't care about how I feel. I care about that moment right there and this little range that it broke. So there is the blow off top moment, the finger of God, the test of the VWAP from underneath, and the rollover breaking the pre-market pivot at the time. That's where we shorted it. And we got paid, covered. Some traders got short again at pre-market. I mean, at the open, got paid down to the prior. So in this case, prior day VWAP is acting as that area of near-term support, and you're faking them out, shaking them out right there, and you're breaking back above VWAP. Short's over. And then you could have went long. Now, again, I was negatively biased to the stock today, so I waited for a new short opportunity, and not here. I'm not that good. Pivots off there, bounces, rolls. I get short again, covered a little bit at the VWAP, then confirmation of weakness, goes back to the levels where something happened once before, covered down there, it got stopped out. Wonderful trading on Broadcom today. And then we went with StubHub, which was a complete freaking waste of my time. I got in late, and I bought a lot. Probably shouldn't have bought so much. Got the faux, got the show, I got the VWAP break, I got the range break, but where did I buy it? I bought it way over here. So I started buying 885, and then I bought a shit ton at 898. And then it jiggled me, and I was like, all right, as long as it doesn't break VWAP, I'm going to be all right. And then I bought even more when it broke. And then I thought we were going to get paid handsomely, and we got rolled over again. And then we had to hold the whole freaking time. And when I tell you VWAP and ranges instilled the discipline, look at this stupid trade. Chop. Oh, chop. Oh. The whole time we're holding it because it did not want to break down. It held VWAP, just jiggling, shuffling. And then luckily, we had one more pop to 9 where I was like, you know what? Let's get the hell out of this thing before it gets worse again. Sold most of it at 9. Very disappointed with myself and the stock. But you know what? It wasn't a loss. It was a small gain. But this trade is how you become a good trader. Don't get out of your position at one price. You know, I sold a little bit into that move. It helped me hold it, but then I sold some here as it was jiggling, but I didn't sell it all. And my price was, it had to hold this 875 area. And then finally broke it. And then I sold my last lot. Good riddance to this piece of garbage, wasting my time. But while we were doing that, we were shorting Coinbase. VWAP break. Been short since. Got paid. Almost got stopped out. One of our traders was actually long while I was still short, but that's not bad because he held it. 207.50 holds. He got long, got paid 2 points. I'm still short, roll over, and I am still short, just using these levels where it's come from as my stops. So 206.45 now is my stop on the rest. And hopefully now what we could do is we could go check multiple time frame VWAP. Oh, and that's my new target to the downside. So you see how VWAP, that's how we use it. Now that we see 2 days worth of VWAP down there, we're below today's 1 minute. We're below today's multi-day. So now we look for more to the downside, but we also now can use, I'm not using that way up there. I'm using the level it broke down from, but that's how, again, multiple time frame VWAP uses you. Sometimes it's inconvenient, doesn't even serve a purpose, but when it does, you use it. That's what's so special about it. Sometimes it acts as support. Sometimes it acts as a target. Sometimes it acts as a target, then support. Round and round and round we go. So, and again, I didn't even trade the Qs today. Missed out on a couple of trades. Little faux show bro action for a long, rollover for a short. This second rollover right here. But we are at 11:22 on a Thursday. Usually, even in good markets, Thursday's a little choppy. This market has been choppy, but it's great chop. Thursday is usually a little bit more choppy. So the quicker you are to make your money, the better. And then you just coast and start putting on Facts of Life theme songs. So we'll go back to that. You ready? I'm going to put a theme song on. You tell me what it is. And prize goes to J.R. Sanders. First person to answer without going over wins the prize. Close. Silver Spoons came after. Silver Spoons came after Different Strokes. That was the runner-up question. Oh, that was the bonus question. So you jumped too soon. All right. Here we go. You ready? Well, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty easy one. It's in the title of the song. I'll give you one guess. Spider-Man, does whatever Spider-Man. Now that was a great show. All right, you see what that Coinbase just did? That's why I'm not covering my short. Stop texting me. Apparently we're going to Logan's bar mitzvah. Sweet. Who's Logan? Shh. Speed Racer, that show freaked me out. I don't know what the hell's going on in that show. I think I used to get epileptic fits watching that show. There was something about Speed Racer that used to frighten me. I don't know what it was. It was very disturbing. All right, you ready? One more time. Here we go. You guys should know this one too. And then we'll go back to trading. Oh, you didn't even let the horns come in. Nice. You guys are good. You guys are going to be hot when we go to the next Hit the Bid trip in Nashville. We go do theme market trivia night. Adam 12 would have been a good guess. Wow, you named that on one note. Wow. You guys are good. You got that on one note. Nerds. Wow. Sunday, Monday, happy days. That's a giveaway too. Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Weekend comes, a cycle runs, ready to race to you. These days are free. These days are such a great song. I hold you, get me wrong, all week long. Starring Laverne. Get Smart was the runner-up, yeah. But speaking of Get Smart, Mission Impossible, you guys are good. You You guys are good. We would have fun on trivia night. We all know who the karaoke king and queen is now. By the way, if we ever do go to Nashville for a hit the bid trip and you want to do karaoke there, it's all professionals, so you better come correct. I was scared to do karaoke in Nashville. Nobody can't sing when you go to Nashville. Missed it by that much. Yes. I'm going to throw you a loop right now. This one's not a game show, but I love this song.
Next are the doorknob pull-ups. This exercise is extreme.
What is that? The workout version? What is that? Oh my God. You guys are good. You guys are good. I'm impressed. By the way, what else are you going to do here, right? Market's just chopping back and forth. We already made our money. By the way, this StubHub is annoying me now because I just got out of the rest of it and it's going to go right back to $9. What a bunch of choppy nonsense that stock was today. But remember, choppy today, make sure you guys watch StubHub the next couple of days because the follow-through trade has been the trade. And I know this credo, if you guys were with us 2 days ago, after all that chop, look what's happened, right? And I said, look, when these stocks chop around that earnings day, you know, they were working somebody's order. I mean, it turned out to be all right. But if you got long the first one, it was a small loss, and then nice gain. But all that hard work, look how much better it turned out to be the next day and then the next day. So I just held up measly 100 shares of it, and you know, much better than the whole grinding of that day. And I sold it today. I think we're onto something on Credo because, you know, like I said, I'm a bear with purpose. When stocks get down to levels where they're attractive, that's why I like being a bear, because I'm pretty good at playing both sides. I go both ways. So when I'm looking at Credo, now that I sold it and I had some success with it, that's when I start looking at doing some weird shit that I don't talk about too much. Like going out there 8 days from now, right? This is for next week. Oh, sorry, I can't get this thing to work. I know it's not a lot. Well, sorry, they were where were they? They were the 92s, I think. Oh no, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. It was about I try to get at least $1 if I'm going to sell a put, sometimes two. Yeah, there they are. So these are the 90s 2 weeks out for $1. So I'm offering these out at $2. So the idea is I like the stock. I would buy it at $88. So I'll sell 2 contracts, not a lot. If they go to $2, I sell 2 contracts with $2. That's $400. Credo sits around for the next 12 days, doesn't go under 90, I keep my $400. Stock goes under 88, I own 200 shares where I wanted to own it. I don't go crazy. Plus, I also think the market could get hammered the next couple of weeks. But, you know, these are the kind of situations where, you know, like SE the other day, same kind of thing. Monstrous pivot. Stock already got slammed. The earnings are out. The volatile moment for that stock has come and gone, and it's made it through it. So now I could look at this stock, the 77. I'll go looking at 75s. I'll go look at even 70s. You know, you go out, now that the earnings are out, you don't have many more catalysts for destruction. You know, going out 22 days, there's the 80s. You could, you know, again, sells off another couple of dollars, whatever. You can get $1, $2 for that. That's how I do it. You know, I like selling puts. I don't talk about it a lot. But when a stock gets slammed on earnings and then you get capitulation, usually that's a short-term bottom, and then you could take some of that premium and let it work for you by selling some puts out of the money. Coinbase, obviously it worked. SC, Credo, maybe even, I don't really know much about this GitLab trade, but SC was another candidate. And then it's also just great to watch these stocks after they report because, again, if it's a chop fest the first day, or like the SC trade and you had the faux show bro, that usually starts an uptrend. The Coinbase, obviously the best example of that, which was my favorite trade of this year so far. Faux show bro earnings reversal on Coinbase, not just intraday, but on the long-term chart also. Hence the reason I said you should be looking for this stock to go to 212, and you basically got 213.50 this morning. So SE, again, these are all the same chart. These are all the same trades from a couple of days ago. And usually get, there's your pivot. You'll get 3 days, 2 days follow through. And now you're trying to close the gap. So you got to look at this stock for the next couple of days, trying to close this gap up to that 102.85. And that's why, my friends, you're never, ever going to be wanting for ideas. Go revisit the idea you did yesterday or the day before or the day before. There's so much going on in this market. If you just stay focused on 3 or 4 symbols, I mean, obviously, if you traded Alcoa the last couple of weeks, this stock is phenomenal to trade because it's pretty damn volatile and the swings are pretty good also. And this thing went from breaking out to a blow off top to a rollover. I mean, it's great. It's not great if you own it this whole time because you just wasted another week of your life or 2 weeks, but it's awesome to trade. And then when it gets washed out again to 57.50, guess what? It'll probably faux show bro and rally back to 62. It's phenomenal. Just a lot going on. A lot going on. I know it's hard to stay focused, but stay focused on earnings reports. That gives you the focus. And by the way, speaking of smoozes and Don Corleone, Vicker finally is in a downtrend for the first time ever. Lower high, lower high, lower high, breakdown. So if you guys are still swinging this, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like these last 3 days. And remember, the stock's up 300% for the year now. And this is one of those situations where I think my analyst is going to be right. This thing looks like it's probably going to go to 250, maybe in a $500 stock. But this action right here doesn't look so hot. Blow off. Now, it wasn't really a blow off top there, but now you follow through. You're breaking the short-term range, and now you're in this candle. You could be looking for the stock to easily fall back another 12 to 15 points. And considering it just rallied from 120 to 220, basically, that's an easy trade. I don't know if anybody wants to short this monster, but I'm looking at it as a possible short in the next couple, today, the next couple of days. The other thing so good about this market, there's pockets of strength everywhere for those guys or people that don't want to ever short stocks. You still don't have to be a shorter to make money. By the way, somebody sent me an email. Very uncomfortable shorting stocks. Can I use your system without being a shorter? You certainly can. Most of the better trades are the faux show bro long trades, where you're just taking advantage of the overzealous shorter. But one thing you don't want to do on a Thursday after having a few good trades is keep trading. It usually is a choppy kind of mess. Thursdays are. And we're kind of in it. Not kind of, I guess we are in it. Oh, what a catch. And if you'd like to join me on the Joel Elconin morning show tomorrow at 8:15, I'll be there. Hello. I'll give you an easy one. It's not the 80s, but you know you love it. Now I'm only going to give you that part. Let's see if you know. Oh, Knight Rider's a good guess. I think 10 years later. But I see where you're going with Knight Rider on that one. I like that. All right, one more time. Once the bass comes in, it's a giveaway. There you go. Actually, a pretty good song. Forget about it. By the way, that show that I'm on still hasn't come out yet. If you guys don't know, I made my acting debut. I'm in a gangster show called Gravesend. That's right. Um, I filmed it not just last year, but almost a year. This is how long it takes to make TV shows. I filmed my scene last October, like so basically 18 months ago. And they're still not done editing. So basically, it's the Sopranos of Brooklyn. Yeah, it's Gravesend, Brooklyn, where I grew up. I grew up in Sheepshead Bay. So it turns out I knew the director of the show and the guy that produces the show. So I reached out and I became an investor. And I was like, hey, so while I'm investing in your show, you think I could be on it? And I got on the show. And hopefully, we filmed for 4 or 5 hours. Hopefully I don't get cut. But if you guys want to watch the B version of The Sopranos out of Brooklyn, it's called Gravesend. It's on Amazon Prime. Dice Clay plays one of the gangsters. He was awesome. And next year, Shaq's with us and Tali Shear and a lot of good. It's great. It's a pretty good cast. Speaking of Dice, I'm going to see him tomorrow night. I'm over here now. It's all right. It's okay. You want to take a picture with me? It's all right. I wonder if he'll remember me from Brooklyn. I'm gonna try to go say hello. I opened up for Dice Clay when I was 16 years old at a club in Brooklyn. He was with this guy Wheels Parisi from Staten Island. I was the opening act, and then Dice Clay shows up. He does 20 minutes. John Lovitz opening up tomorrow. John Lovitz. That's got to be funny. I hope. John Lovitz opening up with Dice Clay tomorrow in Staten Island. So this should be a hoot. I'm over here now. Dice on ice. Oh. My career as a comedian wasn't working well. I got into ice skating. I got a tutu on. You ever hear Opie and Anthony? He does a great impersonation of Dice. He does this bit called Dice on Ice. Oh my God, it's hilarious. A triple sow cow. I'm over here now. Dice walking through the streets of Manhattan is some of the funniest stuff in the world because nobody knows who he is. And he just walks up to people asking them if they want to take a picture with him. Oh, man. It's all right. It's okay. I'm not embarrassed. You can take a picture. And I'm like, who are you? It's all right. Maybe he'll do our back. Get it? If he does our back, get it, I might just have a heart attack. There was a bit where Dice was like somebody heckled him and he wouldn't move on for like 20 minutes and he just kept saying, "I'll be back in an hour. Back, get it?" He wouldn't let it go, and it wasn't even funny. It was like weird, but then it became funny because he just wouldn't let it go. Our back, get it? Back. It's actually on the internet somewhere. It's so weird, but it becomes funny. I saw him like a couple of times. There was one time it was just freaking awful. It was just boring. This should be fun 30 years later. All right, back to TV theme shows. Let's see if you know this one. Sing a happy song. Come on, you all watch that one. Right. The Smurfs. Good job. Thank you for being a friend. Too easy. Too easy. Oh, that's our back. Get it? He said he'd be back in an hour. Back. Get it? You could have said Jetsons, but yeah, the Yabba Dabba Doo gives it away. There's another show. Classic. Classic show. Flintstones was a ripoff of what real TV show? Go. You know it. Now there's a classic show. Who doesn't watch like at least 4 or 5 of those every holiday season? They have like that marathon. Hello, Bob. Well, how do you get through just some chop? Put some songs on. Art Carney's house, yeah. You know whose house went up for sale? I forgot which gangster. Nobody wants to live there. One of the big gangsters from the Five Families who lived in Staten Island. I forgot which guy, but his house just went on sale, and nobody wants it. It's like only $3 million. I forgot. I think Columbo's house, maybe. Not Columbo, the other guy. Maybe Paul Castellano's house went on sale. But the best theme song that we haven't got to yet, possibly this one.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Ooh, the dark and reach up. Yeah, where we need you. Yeah, where we need you. Yeah, the tears in the night, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how it must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Yeah, where we need you. Yeah, where we need you. Yeah, the keys in my life.
'Cause we got 'em on the spot. Welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. And I know what to see you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Yeah, where we need you. Yeah, where we need you. Yeah, the keys in my life, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. There were keys in my life. Welcome back, welcome back. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back. There were keys in my life. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
They don't even have theme songs on shows anymore.
It's a crisis in your life. On the run, 'cause all your girlfriends wanna be your wife. And the laundry tickets in the wall. All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiance didn't show.
I don't know any of these lyrics. What is this song?
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
I don't think I've ever heard this song in its entirety.
And they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
Good dog, Ubu. You're really a nerd. Oh, bro. I don't remember any of those lyrics. Did they play those lyrics? They didn't play those lyrics on the show, right? I don't remember any of that. Wow, that's wild. I'll go back and listen to that one later. Put that on my list. Right, they don't even have theme songs. It's just like intros. They don't. There's not many. Yeah, we tell you, man, we live the greatest. We live the greatest moments. 1978 to 2000. Best time to be alive. I guess 72. I guess 69. 69. Good time to be alive. The 50s. Ever hear that bit? Speaking of Opie and Anthony, he did a lot of good bits. He did a bit about the 50s. Oh, it's so good. You take your best girl out tonight. She gets out of line. Suddenly she's walked into a doorknob. The 50s. Now get back in the kitchen. You smoke a cigarette with your steak and eggs in the morning and put it out, and you whatever you say, put the cigarette out in your kid's face. Because that's what we did. The 50s. Oh, Don Rickles, man. Yeah. I've seen him live. At the Sands in Atlantic City. Talking about classic. Don Rickles and Pat Cooper. I saw them in the first back-to-back. Buddy Hackett. My dad used to get tickets to these shows at the Sands. Classic. I remember saying to my dad, how is he allowed to say all this stuff? Like, what if somebody like waits for him at the end of the show? Because he was saying so much racist stuff. I was like, this guy's going to get killed. No? It's like, it's all comedy. He gets away with it. Don Rickles and Pat Cooper, man. Yeah, nobody even remembers Pat Cooper. His real name was Pasquale Caputo, but he changed to Pat Cooper because everybody hated Italians at the time. That was his story. George Carlin, the best. Yeah, seen him live too. All right, ready?
Look at what's happened to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. Should have been somebody else. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Just like the light of a new day, it hit me from out of the blue.
Hey, by the way, this stock went by my radar yesterday, QURE. Wow, what happened here? Look at that chart. Whoa. But if it's gonna try to make a comeback, it's got a pretty big gap right there. That's a 50% gap. This might be worth watching the next couple of days. Put it on my ticker here. Like theme songs from the 80s TV shows were so good that they made it onto the radio. I mean, it was just a different time. No way. The, the green room at the Sands? That's insane. How many asses must have sat on that? I saw Howie Mandel. That was the last time I went to go see a show. Howie Mandel at the Sands. Wow, that's pretty cool. Very cool. By the way, this is Turb. This thing, I was just joking around about it a couple of days. It doesn't want to go away. It is stuck. This actually might turn and burn again. By the way, QURE, I got to keep an eye on this one. That's a massive destruction, man. And look at all the negative news on QURE. They're being sued. You love a good lawsuit. That was the long-term chart. This is they're being sued for fraud and all this other great stuff. Always a great time to buy a stock, right? After the fraud. But seriously, now that this thing's getting destroyed, all you need is a couple of good days. And you break, this is a double top, breaks through there. It's a 50% move to get back just to where it broke down from. That's an interesting one to watch tomorrow. Let's see if it has options. QURE. Oh, wow. It doesn't even have weeklies. It only has monthlies. Ooh. What kind of stock is that? I thought everybody had weeklies by now. Oh, well. Might have been an interesting $11 play tomorrow. But this is the yearly chart. Yeah. I just saw this thing going by yesterday on a lot of scanners. Oof, man. That is nasty. Man, I guess we did trade this stock coming out of the Andy Dufresne right here. By the way, that's your 3-year VWAP. You just broke back below it. Man, that looks like something that inevitably is going to zero, but all I care about is tomorrow. Could be a pretty good ripper. It's a deep one. You might not know this. Now you should get it, yeah. It's close. It's actually Al Jarreau. Yeah. Hey, by the way, there's a nice dynamic shift going on right here. we're still, this market's not going down, you know. We're just shifting again today. Software stocks are still looking pretty good. Oh, what was the software index again? I forgot to put it on my list. What was the software index? IGV. There you go. Yeah, you got yourself a faux show, and you're about to get more of a bro. So you could be looking at another decent leg up on software stocks. And you see where your faux showed, basically the prior faux show back from when tariff tantrum. So nice symmetry there. By the way, that SE trade. And by the way, look at this StubHub, right? How annoying. But man, it needed to get my last, I only had 800 left. It got me out at 875 just to go right back to 9 anyway. What an annoying trade. But remember, the more annoying it is, if it doesn't break out today, it'll break out tomorrow. So, as annoying as this was, at least it wasn't a disaster. Definitely be watching this tomorrow. If not later today when it rips to $10 without me. It's going to happen. But SE rocking again. More of these trades from the last couple of days. There's that now from the earnings report. Remember when this reported earnings? Here's the 10-day chart. Capitulation on earnings. Stock's up 20% since. Here's Salesforce. 30-point move. There's just a million trades that are good going on. And by the way, this market's about to go green again. It's talking about the Qs in particular. So, again, you can be a shorter lately, but it's still a short-lived trade. And you see how right there, that's the 10-day VWAP where it just held. Now we know if this market's ever going down again, that's a major, major accomplishment, holding that support. So either today, tomorrow, March 18th, if we're still above that level, you know how important it is now, 10-day VWAP. Stretch it out a little bit. There's your 10-day on the minute. So where's my friend that was wondering how to use multiple time frame VWAP? You see how I'm using it? You just go check. Go check. I usually go through 5 days every day, every trade. And then I grab 10, 15, 20. And then I look at monthly, 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, yearly. And then I even look at 2 year, 3 years. And then I pretty much know exactly where a stock's been. All VWAP all the time. And when you see stuff like that happening, you know that's a very significant moment, right? You've held a 10-day VWAP. So now you know on the way down, if it ever does break, that's going to be significant. So there's your 10, and then here's your 15. It's right there. So there is some big support underneath these levels. That's why you're seeing this market's very difficult to stay down. But if I'm right about what I think's about to happen, we're going to go right through all those levels and go back to the 87.50 area. And there'll be no tomorrow. Here's your 3 month. We're still under that. There's the 6 month we've been battling. Here's the 9 month, which we just held. And then what I think is going to happen is we're going to give all those levels are going to crater, and we're finally going to get the mass exodus that I've been talking about down to that 565 level. By the way, do you know after we were talking about this guy, he died the next day? Can you believe it? I forgot to even talk about that. We didn't even get to put on some of those wonderful songs. And I'm going to go get some breakfast while we play a final farewell to my friend from Brooklyn. And if you thought this was the Carpenters your whole life, you're wrong. It's Neil Sedaka. Rest in peace.
Along country roads with my baby. It starts to rain, it begins to pour. Without an umbrella, we're soaked to the skin. I feel a shivering up my spine. I feel the warmth of her hand in mine. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Ooh, how I love the rainy days and the happy way I feel inside. After a while we run under a tree. I turn to her and she kisses me. There with the beat of the rain on the leaves, softly she breathes and I close my eyes. Sharing our love under stormy skies. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Ooh, how I love the rainy days and the happy way I feel inside. I feel the warmth of her hand in mine. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Ooh, how I love the rainy days and the happy way I feel inside. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Climb up, way up high. Climb up, way up high. Climb up.
Hey, don't be dissing on Neil Sedaka. Come on, he's from Sheepshead Bay, Brighton Beach, my old stomping grounds. This Turb, man. They start throwing some big size at 3. There it is. Oh man, this thing wants to go. I'm surprised this thing keeps coming back, isn't this? I thought this was a pump and dump. But when they keep pumping, if it breaks over those recent highs, what price was that? That's 323. Yeah, you got actually when the last time this stock did anything, unless there's a split involved, this actually could be interesting the next couple of days. Breaks that 3 1/4. You're looking at, yeah, what is that price right there? 4 cents. Well, Neil Sedaka in 77. Wow. I met him on the boardwalk once. I saw him perform at Midwood Field in Brooklyn. They used to do these free concerts in Brooklyn. It was awesome. Stuff they don't do anymore, man. They used to have real concerts. My dad used to go gambling on the horses at Belmont and Aqueduct. They used to have concerts after the horse races. Good shows too. Four Seasons, Chuck Berry, some Bo Diddley, Jay and the Americans. I think I've seen every doo-wop band there ever was. All right, y'all. I'm going to eat breakfast. Don't get chopped up. If you guys are hanging tonight, if you don't know how to get in, send me an email, kennyglick@aol.com. We'll hang tonight. Hopefully Solid's there. Don Corleone. Maybe we'll get another guest on. I got to reach out. But I'll be back later. I got nothing going on right now, and I'm loving it. And if you bought QURE, I guess you got paid. That's an interesting looking chart, seriously. I love a stock when it gets destroyed because then the squeezes happen. Beretta's theme, I don't know. Not off the top of my head. Then there's the sub theme songs of game show theme songs in themselves. Those were so trippy. $20,000 Pyramid. This isn't the real version. This is a bootleg version. Today on the game show, we're talking about CrowdStrike, we're Coinbase, StubHub, all your favorite songs, and much, much more. Join us today and tonight at the Schmooze. Just email kennyglick@aol.com, and you too can be on the program. Bring your friends, bring your mom, and don't forget to get your pet spayed or neutered. Control the pet population by getting your pet spayed or neutered. This broadcast is brought to you by John Goodson and Mark Goodson Production. Some classic. That's not even the real version. The real version is actually really trippy. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Don't forget to tip your bartenders. And if you're driving, don't drink. If you're drinking, don't drive. Email me. We'll be hanging out tonight. Bring your own beer. And say Solid Jello 3 times out loud. Maybe he'll appear. All right. I'll see you when I get back. Internet, I am out of here. Make sure you email me. Good luck, y'all.